The reason why I love street photography is the unpredictability of it. There's so much change, you have to be very aware of what's going on, and I really love that kind of energy, you know. I love being surrounded by people and taking time to kind of notice things as well, you know. My name is Aarif Amod, and I am a documentary street photographer and an event music photographer as well. I started studying photography about 4 or 5 years ago. I attended St. Kevin's College and did a certificate course there. In the first year I saw my first print, I had my first 2 exhibitions and really got a taste of the photography kind of scene. After I studied the 2 years there, I was accepted to the 2 colleges, but I chose to kind of take my own path of things and spend more time with the camera and try and find a bit more of a solid kind of view of what I wanted to do. So I've been mostly dedicated to street photography these days. Currently working on an exhibition involving the cultural shift on Moore Street. So I do a lot of interacting with people. I really love meeting new people, hearing their stories. I also work in a music shop as well, in the World Music Shop. They sell instruments from all over the world. I'm constantly dealing with different types of musicians and meeting new people. It's a great job to have. I moved to Dublin in 1998, and back then Dublin was a completely different place. Since that time there's been a massive shift and change in the cultural diversity in the city. I think it's very beautiful. It adds a whole new flavor to the city in terms of music and arts and food. So currently I'm working on a documentary that involves Moore Street, as I said, and it's documenting the massive cultural change there. I've been spending time interacting with people who pass through the street, meeting people from all over South America, Africa, India, everywhere. It's been really good. The engaging with people really adds to the documentary as well. I've also built up a bit of a relationship with some of the shop owners there. So my next part of that documentary is going to be focusing on more of the people who work there, how long they've been in the country, how long they're actually trying to make a living here in Ireland. The reason why I love street photography is the unpredictability of it. There's so much change, you have to be very aware of what's going on, and I really love that kind of energy, you know. I love being surrounded by people and taking time to kind of notice things as well, you know. I've only started taking portraits in the last maybe 7 or 8 months, and the reason why I started focusing on portraits is because I noticed there was a lot of distance in my street photography. It was a lot of separation between the camera and the subject. So I started approaching people first during the COVID to work on a COVID mask series. So I was approaching people, taking photos of them wearing the mask, and slowly kind of began building up confidence with that. There's a lot of times when I didn't want to approach someone, but when I actually got the confidence in them, they were extremely open to it. I think I've been told that a lot of times with my photography, you can actually see a lot of openness in the subject, in who I'm taking photos of. And I think that's a really good thing. It's also a good representation of me as well. I'm very passionate musician, so I have a big connection with world music. So traditional music from Ireland, traditional music from India and South Africa. I have roots in those 2 countries as well, and music has taught me so much, and there's a lot of aspects of music that I actually have taken and applied to my photography as well. I play a lot of instruments. I'm a percussionist, so anything you can hit, anything you can bash, you know. I play the African Djembe. I'm working on finger percussion to hopefully one day go and study music in India. Unfortunately, about 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. So that took a year off my life, and it changed so many things. That process changed so many things personally for me, you know. It changed my view on the world, it changed my view of myself, and in terms of the instruments and music, I've built a very deep connection with it. Music can be very therapeutic as well, and there's so many aspects of music that I didn't know that actually have an incredible effect on not just the body but also the brain as well. Music has played a massive part in my life, you know. If you're an artist, it's important to dedicate your time to whatever you're doing. The more time you dedicate to an instrument or your camera or whatever medium you're trying to express yourself, the more that instrument it gives back to you. So becoming a confident artist, I think is very important, and not losing track of what your goals are. Representing yourself in a true and honest kind of way. And I personally love doing something that has a bit of meaning behind it, you know, where it's some kind of journalistic work or some kind of work that through your expression gives other people an opportunity to stand up, or gives opportunities for other people to see, to gain access to places or see things that they haven't been given before. So I think that's really important. Personally for me, because I haven't spent too much time on the art scene, it's only something I'm only getting into now. It's literally only within the last 5 years that I've been focused on kind of finding my place in terms of the arts world. I think there's always going to be that kind of friction, and no matter what kind of art scene you're trying to find your place, there's always going to be some battles that you have to fight. Personally, I think it's a good time to be someone with a different kind of cultural background, because there's so much attention being put on it now, in terms of the Black Lives Movement, in terms of everything in the States and everything here in Ireland. There seems to be a bit more of a spotlight on that. So I think it's a good time to be fearless. I think it's a good time to stand up for your work. I think it's a good time to spend time with whatever your creative path is, whether it's photography or music. Spend time, develop your skills, and always try and not lose track of being an honest kind of artist, you know.